This is the Athlete of the Week, and it's brought to you by Diamond Point and Sauk Center here on Midmnsports. And with us today, the captains from the Fusion swimming team. And we're going to learn more about swimming here, if that's okay, all right?
Yeah.
Could we do this? Introduce yourselves, okay? Tell us what school you go to, your name, your school, and who's in your family, okay?
Okay. I'm Spencer Van Beck. I go to Melrose High School. In my family, I have 4 younger siblings. Quentin is a sophomore. Moretta is a 8th grader. They both go here, and then Jenna and Thatcher go to Sacred Heart School in Freeport. My mom, she is a preschool teacher at Sacred Heart School in Freeport, and my dad owns his own construction business.
I'm Jacob Borgerding. I go to Sauk Center. I have 3 older siblings. I have 1 older sister and 2 older brothers. They're all graduated out of college and everything. And both my parents, my mom works at the school in Sauk, and my dad works at Belgrade.
All right. Now, for the swimming team, you are the captains. What events do you participate in?
I do the distance events, so the 200 and the 500 freestyle. So
I'm in the 100 fly and the 200 IM.
You know, let's just go back. When you started swimming, when did you get going?
I started in 8th grade, actually. I was in basketball in 7th grade, and then realized it wasn't really my thing, and then I decided to try swimming. So
Yeah, I started right in 7th grade then. Yeah, always just started out in swimming.
So as you were younger and you went to swimming meets, I take it, that you were watching some of the guys out there. Who came to your mind and you're thinking to yourself, I want to be like that guy?
Well, for me, my sister was in swimming too, and she was in school, so I kind of got it from her, and I was friends with Isaac Schreiner, like basically since we went to daycare, so I knew he was going to be in swimming, so I kind of just followed him.
I guess when you bring up daycare, that's going back, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's early enough.
Yeah.
And what about you?
my cousin was in swimming, so I went to a lot of swim meets when I was younger to watch him and support him, so he really motivated me to try the sport.
Now, as you get together for the Fusion, you go to Sauk Center, you go to Melrose. How is that mixed, not only with you two, but with the rest of the team?
I think it's pretty good. It's nice to meet the other kids from Melrose, because in the other sports besides wrestling, I think you don't really get to meet anyone else. You're kind of rivals and every other thing.
Yeah.
And you don't really get to ever talk to other people, and it's nice.
Yeah, I think we get along well between like rivalry schools. We learn to get along and we bond together pretty strongly. So
Well, and how much do the coaches play a part in that?
a huge part. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really good at making sure everyone's involved and everyone's fitting in together. So
You know, I think that's the thing with Coach Meyer for the girls in Melrose, then Coach Schreiner for the Sauk Center girls. But you get the benefit of both of them, don't you?
Yeah.
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 Can you address that a little bit more and just how they handle the team, handle yourself, or what do you think about those guys?
Well, yeah, it's nice to see them because they get along perfectly. You know, they're buddies outside. They always hang out, I know, and they kind of just, I don't know, guide us along, I guess.
yeah, it's cool. They both have their own different coaching techniques with the girls team, and for the guys, they kind of bring both together, and that's what makes us so strong.
But it's too the enthusiasm, I think, that they bring. Do you kind of sense that too, to kind of keep these programs going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. They really push us to try our hardest. So
Can we talk more about just swimming in general? You know, I'm not a swimmer. I don't know the first thing about it. And so for you to be a better swimmer, what do you have to do? Maybe take yourself, for example, back in whatever grade you were, and you weren't doing it that well, but what makes you a better swimmer now?
Practice. It's just practice every day. That's how you're going to get better, is just keep on going.
yeah, obviously the endurance part is a big part, but also it's such a mind-thinking sport. You really have to get your head in, and you have to think about, you know, what you have to do in the water. You know, you kind of can't psych yourself out. You just have to go do it.
Well, especially, have you both competed at the state?
I did last
I
year.
haven't yet.
Okay, so let's say you're at the state and you're walking around. There's some pretty good guys down there, right?
Yeah, there's some really, really fast guys.
Yeah, so what are you telling yourself then at that point?
I kind of just have to go out there and give it my all. Once I'm in the water, I don't want to leave anything. You leave everything in the pool. You get out, you want to make sure that that was your fastest race, and that's as fast as you could have gone. And you kind of just tell yourself that, like, you can't control what other people are doing. You just have to race for yourself.
But again, getting back to becoming a better swimmer, there has to be more than just practice. It's got to be a lot of technique. Can you talk about some of the strokes that you use and again, how you improved yourself as a swimmer then? And maybe even demonstrate that. What do you have to do?
Well, we work a lot of drills. The first week of practice, we usually take a stroke a day, and we work on drills for that stroke. Personally, in freestyle, my right arm, I need to work my reach. So we've been like focusing on some drills to work my reach. So that has really helped me throughout the season.
And you?
Same thing with fly. I've been practicing it like crazy the past few weeks. And it's just all the little things, getting a faster turnover, getting faster flip turns off walls and starts, and everything just adds up.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you on the relay teams?
Yeah.
Okay. What makes a good relay team then? And how do you form a relay team? How do the coaches put that together?
They take everyone's time basically, and the fastest ones for each like individual stroke get put into it. That's basically it. You just got to be the fastest.
Yeah, you really have to trust each other on the relay, because if that trust isn't there, you could have a disqualification. Like, each finish has to be perfect for the other guys wind up to be good for the relay exchange. So,
And I'm sure this is practice too. How do you know and how do you time it when the swimmer's coming in and off you go, and you can't blow this now? So what do you take us through that?
You just kind of get a feel for it when you do countless meets with them. And you just kind of get a feel for when they're going to hit in. You can trust them, rely on them.
Yeah.
When they're going to hit in, you can take off.
yeah.
So with the events that you're in and you do the fly, and what about the other strokes? Why, I don't know how to say it in the sense, why are you better at that and not so good at the other ones?
I guess it's just kind of what you stick with when you first start. I know when I first went in, I wanted to be a flyer. Kind of regretted that later on, but you just kind of get one, you stick with it, and you kind of just develop it.
Yeah, you kind of find the stroke that fits you. The previous, like my younger years, I was a backstroker. I did the IM as well, and then last year they had like an off meet, so they put me in the distance, and I did well at it, so they decided to switch me over.
Now I can see that you're taller than you. How does that play into it then?
A lot.
Yeah, your height obviously plays a role in how fast you swim, but that's not the only factor.
Yeah.
So how do you make up for that then?
Just practice. You gotta.
You like practice.
It's practice and technique.
You know, because getting back to practice with swimming, and you have to keep this fun as well, because I'm sure down and back, it gets a little tedious, doesn't it?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah,
it
it can get tedious, but they make it different enough for every set that, because I know a lot of people imagine it as in you're just swimming back and forth the entire time, which you kind of are, but you're doing different things each time you go down. There could be a kick set, could be a stroke set, just you're always changing it up.
As, again, a team and you being captains, is this something that the coaches talk to you about, to be a captain, and what do you think about that? How are you a good captain?
I don't know. It's really fun to be a captain, kind of being that top motivator for the team, the one who everyone looks up to. All the freshmen get to look up to you and I want to be that person when I'm a senior. I don't know. It's kind of a fun role on the team, and the coaches expect a lot from us, but we kind of have to take that spot and step up to the challenge. So. Yeah,
you just got to be a role model to the younger kids. Get them hyped up for every meet you go to. Get them enthusiastic about it.
Because again, getting back to where I'm sure when you were younger, you look at some of those guys and it might be intimidating, right? Do you see that in some of the younger ones now, and what do you do about that?
I think we all kind of get along pretty well. We try to include all the younger grades. We have quite a few coming with us to sections from the younger grades, so I think they're with us enough, and I don't know, we really bond together as a family. So
I can tell just by your attitude or just the whole makeup of everything, this goes pretty well, doesn't it, with the fusion?
Yeah.
All right. I should ask you too about outside of swimming. What are your interests here? What do you do? Any other activities?
Yeah, during the fall I'm in the musical, and then during the winter I'm in swimming, and I also do speech. And then I really try to stay involved within my school through NHS and student council and choir. So.
Yeah, I'm in cross country in the fall, and yeah, those are my two sports I'm into. Not really into any other arts.
You know, cross country too, when you talk about the mental aspect of it, right? There's one thing about doing the physical part, you have to do that and be talented as well, but how do you handle that all mentally? How do you combine the two? I think it's got to be kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, definitely. It's all about, before a race or before a meet, you just got to get in, in the zone, I guess, really. You got to get into that mood because you can tell when you're going to have an off day and you're not going to do as well. But, yeah, it's all about getting ready for it.
I just talked to Nicholas Oberding not too long ago. He was in the musical, and I asked him to, break into a little number, and he refused. So can I entice you to?
Oh, no.
No?
I'm in off season right now.
Oh, he had the same excuse. You talked, didn't you? Well, all right. So now that you're seniors, you're both seniors, right? What about after high school?
Next year, I'm going to Minnesota State University Moorhead to get a degree in early education.
I'm actually going to the same college that he is, and I'm going to go for computer science.
So before swimming, did you guys know each other at all?
I don't think so.
Not really, no.
And now here you are just
Yeah.
doing what you do.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good, I guess, the testament to it, the whole program with the Fusion. It's just a good family, isn't it?
Definitely.
All right. Well, good luck to you. Thank you for being with us. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. That is Jacob Borgerding and also Spencer Van Beck, and they are on the Fusion swimming team. And it's our Athletes of the Week here on Mid-Minnesota Sports, brought to you by Diamond Point in Sauk Center.